Here is a drawing nation that I made of our love-struck character Sanji a couple weeks back. Hope you enjoy. Remember to follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook for more artwork like this. Take it easy, nation. One Piece, Chapter 80. A Thief is a Thief. Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, and probably expected, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the epic, sometimes saddening, sometimes happy, fun, and enlightening tale of One Piece. The last couple of chapters really were flashback chapters, and it was basically Nojiko telling the story of Nami and why she is like she is, and what happened with Arlong coming to the island, her mother Belmare being killed by Arlong, and basically her commitment to free the village by gathering 100 million berries to pay off Arlong. So that's how everything has gone in the last couple of chapters, and as we were left off in that chapter, it was kind of us coming out of that reminiscing type thing, and we'd also went into it with Nami as well, so it was kind of like Nami was reminiscing, but Nojiko was actually telling the story to Luffy and Sanji and everybody else. Luffy actually walked off, but Sanji and Usopp stuck around. Zoro was sleeping. So that's how things start off over here. And she's like, and Nojiko kind of comes out of the whole, flashback thing, and she says, so that's why Nami doesn't want to, because if you remember at the end of last chapter, Nami had basically said, I'm not going to shed a tear anymore. I'm going to, do this fight on my own. And she basically just decided that she's going to suck it up for the greater good of everybody. And whether she's considered an outcast or, it doesn't really matter. She's going to do what she's going to do to save the village. So Nojiko, basically comes out of it and says, can't you guys understand that? That's why like friend is a dangerous word to her. She was 10 years old when that happened. She has not shed a tear since then. And she's basically just been cold and calculated, and she's had to do what she's going to do because this is her goal, right? So Usopp's like, man, I can't believe that she would have joined the crew of the pirate that killed her mother, right? And then Nojiko says, yeah, and then it goes to Sanji, and Sanji's like, oh my darling, I cannot believe it. He's all smitten and love struck with her, and Sanji, promised to kill Arlong, and she's like, listen, that's the problem. You can't be running around talking about how you love her and she's your darling and everything else. That's going to raise the suspicion of the pirates, and it's going to undo everything she's been trying to do for the last 8 years. So you just have to just butt out, okay? Because this is the path that she chose, that she wants to do, all right? This is how she is handling things. So she's trying to get that through to them. It then goes and it takes us to the town very briefly, and we see Luffy just kind of wandering around Coco Village, and he goes and walks right past Genzo and Captain Nezumi of Naval Base 16, and we kind of start to see as this chapter unfolds what the payoff was going on from Arlong to him, or him to Arlong. We weren't really sure several chapters ago at the beginning of the arc if he had an important part, and he does. He's asked Genzo to take him to Nami. And basically Luffy just goes and sees the pinwheel that's on Genzo's head. And all he can think of is, why does that guy got a pinwheel on his head? But it then goes and takes us to Nami, and she's kind of gotten up from her nap. She's stretched. She has this little flashback of that treasure map that she has, shows where she has buried. She hasn't given Arlong the 93 million berries that she's had already. She's been collecting it from these voyages over the years, and she buries it in some place, I guess in the Tangerine Grove it looks like, because she goes into her flashback, and when she collects her first million berries, she's excited. She's like, I only got 99 million more to go. And Nojiko's like, you're cut and this and that. So obviously she's taken some damage over the years. She's gotten beat up. This has been a journey she's been on, right? It's not a short trip. 8 years of doing this shit, robbing, pillaging, plundering, lying, stealing, but it's for the good of trying to free the village. And so nobody else, falls under Arlong's control or is killed by Arlong. So then Captain Nezumi walks up with Genzo and says, are you Nami the thief? And she says, I'm a pirate of Arlong's crew. What's it to you? He says, I don't know anything about that. And he just brushes it off, right? So now we see the connection. Arlong paid him off to go and basically come and bother Nami, to raid her, right? To kind of shake her down. And that's what he's doing. He goes, we heard you're a thief and that you've stolen, X amount of berries, 93 million, close to 100 million. And that property, even though you've stole it from other pirates, and even though it's kind of an unorthodox case, a thief stealing from pirates, that money does not belong to you, nor did it the pirates. They belong to the original people that they were stolen from, or whatever, right? That it was taken from. So she's basically just like, screw you, you got bigger things to do over here. The Navy should be here trying to help the people of this town and this island that are oppressed by Arlong and his pirates. And he's like, and he keeps going and evading that question. I don't know anything about that, but we need to go and we're going to search the house and we're going to search everything. We're going to find this money because that's what my job is. So she's like getting all pissed off and she just cold cocks one of his guys, whack, as they're trying to go into the house. And he just tells them, hey, just don't even bother with them. Just keep searching, So she's like, what the hell is going on here? Genzo goes, and Genzo, like, after a while, because then they're going to start searching the tangerine groves, so they're kind of getting closer to where it is. She goes and nails another one of them, and she's bitching at him again about what the hell is wrong with you? You're just trying to extort people, and you're worried about this nonsense, with these pirates here, right? But you're not doing anything about that. So Genzo goes and lets the cat out of the bag, and he basically says, that money is hers, that she's trying to get that to free Coco Village. And she's like, what? I didn't know you knew about that. And Genzo's like, yeah, we pressed Nojiko, for the information. We knew you wouldn't just become a pirate just like that. So finally Nojiko gave in and told us what you were doing. But we didn't want to let on that we knew, because then you would feel responsible to keep going with it. We kept kind of hoping that this would be your way out, is that if we didn't know about what you were doing, the kind deed that you were suffering for, that eventually you'd just kind of give up on it and be like, you know what, this is too hard, I'm giving up, I can't do this shit anymore. So anyways, the Captain Nezumi, basically goes and tells everybody, okay, in search here, it's got to be here, it's 100 million berries, it's not like it's a needle in a haystack, you got to be able to find it. So now, basically, Nami is flipping out. I mean, she's pissed off, and so is Genzo. Nojiko comes back at that point, right, her stepsister, and she's like, what the hell, this is bullshit. She's like, and if you're not going to save the village, you're no good to us. And she tells her, get out of here, take your ship and get out of here before they confiscate that. Well, he's not interested in that, okay, because he's been paid off by Arlong to go and do it, which we find out. It starts to click, and then when it clicks with Nami, she's like, Arlong put you up to this, didn't he? And he's like, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm just here to recover stolen property. So she flips out, right? And he goes and he's like, you know what? They're getting in the way and impeding our search. Take them out. So they go and a few of the Marines go and raise their guns and boom, 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 they fire, right? Well, they wind up, it looks like in the next panel, they only hit Nojiko. And I don't know if it's bad, if it's just a flesh wound, but they're like, Nojiko, Genzo, and Nami are down over. Nami is pissed, right? Because now it's clicking, okay? Her sister got shot. She's been doing all this shit for 8 years, and Arlong, just to keep her in the crew, is going to try to steal her fucking money so she can't actually free the village, and she's got to start all over again. So she goes and flips her shit, man, and just gets up and just tears off like a bat out of hell. She runs into Luffy in the village on the way there, and everybody's like, oh, we heard gunshots and blah, blah. And then Luffy's like, oh, Nami, hey, you okay? You look, you look like something wrong. You need some help? She gets up in his face, and she's like, I don't ever want to see you again. Just leave this island, She goes tearing off like a bat out of hell, man. I mean, she's like the Roadrunner, beep, beep, and she's just out of there. Because she's got a beeline tunnel vision now for Arlong. She is pissed off. So the chapter ends shortly after that. She basically goes and comes flying into Arlong Park, and she's Arlong, and he's sitting there. Oh, what's the matter? You look upset, Nami, my esteemed navigator, my trusted navigator. And she's like, you went and broke your promise. You told me you'd rather die or get your belly slit open than break your promise. And he's like, what promise did I break? He's playing dumb. And she's like, don't play dumb with me. You had that Captain Nezumi go and try to steal the money that I have been saving up to pay you for to free the village, right? So he's just basically like, yeah, that's bullshit. I don't know what you're talking about. I didn't lie, So she gets up in his face and goes to nail him, and she's obviously enraged or whatever. And it basically ends, the last pages, there's a panel of him just grabbing her like this by the face, right? And I mean, there's tears running down her face. She's so angry. And he's basically just like, yeah, tell me how I lied, Nami, and blah, 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 And again, it goes into this little monologue about, he can pretty much do whatever he wants. And that's how the chapter ends. So, the chapter is called, I think it's like once a thief, always a thief, or a thief is a thief. And that's the resounding thing that comes from Captain Nezumi. I don't know anything about this other stuff, but sorry, a thief is a thief, and it's a crime. We got to take care of it. Doesn't matter if you're doing the wrong things for the right reasons, but... So anyway, all in all, I think that things are starting to heat up over here, and I certainly feel like like the shit's about to hit the fan, as I like to say, within maybe the next few chapters. We have one more chapter before we wrap up Volume 9 and move into 10, and it's certainly going to be an exciting one. So I don't even know if I ever put up. I've kind of been forgetting sometimes with these, but there's Volume 9, the one that I'm reading from right now. And let me know what you think, though, brothers and sisters. in the comments down below. Certainly feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you think that I deserve it, and I've earned it. And of course, subscribe if you haven't done so already. We will look forward to catching you in the next one, Nation.
As always, thanks for watching, brothers and sisters, and remember, join the Nerd Nation. It's the right thing to do. Trust me. Tell them Jim sent you.